At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Mike Krueger. It is Coffee with Krueger every weekday morning at 7 a.m. Did you feel it? Did you feel that transition from summer to fall? Probably not, because it was a hot day. Reading saw a high of 100 degrees yesterday. I'm going to be 100% honest. I was anticipating and forecasting temperatures to stay just below 100. That wasn't the case. We did get up to 100 degrees yesterday. I think it'll be the case again today, maybe even a little bit above 100 degrees. Maybe even tomorrow, and then temperatures start to drop again. So wouldn't you know, it's fall, but Mother Nature has other plans for us. All right. But the good news is we do expect to see some relief later on this week. Before we get into all of that, let's take you right to Krueger's Quickcast. This is just a quick look at the forecast, so you know what to expect as you're heading out the door this morning. Maybe some of you are watching and you don't have a whole lot of time, so let's get you right to it. Those temperatures, again, we're going to take a look at the high temperatures we saw yesterday afternoon. This was a hot start to fall, especially in the valley, even some of the mountains, but in the valley in particular. Now you'll notice a little bit of that South Delta breeze, right? That kept things cooler in Chico, Norville in the low 90s. But about 100 degrees here for Reading, Red Bluff, and even Corning. Temperatures were mainly in the 80s off to the east, but in Trinity County, low to mid-90s. That's also the case inland, but of course the coast, much cooler. Temperatures were in the mid-60s yesterday. So again, just a quick reminder that we can, and it has happened before, see temperatures climb above 100 degrees here through at least the middle of October. Historically speaking, in 91 and 2022, both on October 14th, temperatures both those days were over 100 degrees. That wasn't too long ago. And it's not out of the question for us to see that again, maybe even exceed that. We'll see. But for now, I don't see any major heat waves heading our way. Temperatures right now, you can see, are generally in the mid-60s. Although, look at Reading, 77 degrees right now. A bit of a wind blowing out there. That kind of keeps those temperatures up. A bit of a temperature inversion in Shingletown at 68 degrees. And look at this. Those temperatures along the coast. Pretty cool out in Eureka. Now, the visibility is actually looking pretty good. I do have a report coming in from Rowdy saying, good morning, super clear morning in Arcata with a visible Jupiter and the moon right next to each other. Well, Rowdy, take a snapshot. If you got a good camera, take a snapshot, share it, send it to, of course, you can share it from the free Weather NorCal app. We've also got Kenny Elwood. Well, good morning to you. It's been a while. How you doing out there, buddy? And love to catch up, see how you're doing out there. Hey, let's take a look at the visibility out there this morning. And you can see it's a little bit dropped down to about 7 to 8 mile visibility. But along the coast, this is looking at Trinidad, just north of Trinidad, actually, in Elk Country. Looks like a little bit of haze, a little bit of fog trying to develop there, but overall the visibility is pretty good. 7 to 8 mile visibility out there, otherwise 10 mile visibility elsewhere. Out the door this morning, let's go and take a look at what it looks like, and you can see temperatures. Yeah, I mean, it's a mild start to the day already in the valley. We're in the mid 60s, mid to even upper 60s. 40s, 50s for the higher elevations, and of course for the coast, temperatures in the low 50s. All right, so here's Futurecast, and I mean that fog bank, it is well off the coast. Now, this is good, of course, as Rowdy is indicating and confirming that we've got clear skies out there. There's a little bit of haze and light fog in some areas trying to develop here, but overall, we're looking at a hot day today in the valley. About 100 degrees out there. You can see 97 degrees for Willows, though, 98 degrees for Oroville, 98 degrees for Chico. I've got 65 in Eureka and 70 today in Crescent City. So temperatures, yes, it's starting off hot. Look at the valley. We're still about 100 degrees here. Upper 90s about 100 through Tuesday. But we do see about a 10-degree drop for Wednesday into Thursday. But you see we have a little bit of a mini roller coaster ride, because once we get through this initial heat wave to start off the week, yes, temperatures are going to be right around or above normal, but we're not going to see very big temperature swings after that. You can see the coast. Again, mid to upper 60s, even around 70 for today and tomorrow, leveling off the low to mid 60s for Wednesday through the weekend. And inland and for Trinity County, also seeing that kind of drop in the temperatures by the middle of the week, and then that mini roller coaster ride. And that's the case for all of the mountains too. Siskiyou County, Modoc County, and the Eastern Mountains. Hey, let's take a look at what's going on with the fires. And you know, the Boise fire is now taken off the map. We're not even talking about it. Apparently, I didn't even see the report if there was one, but apparently it's 100% contained, the Boise fire. So right now we're looking at the Park fire. No later reports, not off the map, still at about 99% containment there. So let's take a look at the fire weather risk. And we start with the winds for today. And you can see right now, a little breezy in some spots here, but nothing terribly unusual. As we take you through the day today, those winds a little breezy at times, but overall, nothing above 20 miles per hour. Nothing to be alarmed about. But what we do need to pay attention to is the heat and the dry conditions. So you can see we're down in the single digits here for the valley. So we do need to be aware of that. What a beautiful shot out there this morning. Got a couple of passing wispy high clouds out at Lake Oroville. Sun just coming up. Birds are flying. There's a look at Lake Oroville, North Forebay. Don't see any clouds in this image, so it just depends on where you are. You can kind of look off in the distance and maybe see some of those high clouds. Looks like the camera for Main Street Chico is not updating, and that's also the case for Highway 99 at Neal Road. I don't think that's a Caltrans issue. I think it's more of my computer having some issues with that, so I may have to kind of reboot things around here. Highway 44 at Sundial Bridge Drive on Highway 44. There you can see, looks like traffic is flowing smoothly there. Hey, by the way, it's been a while since I've checked those pictures that you've been sending, and look at this. Boy, got some beautiful pictures. In fact, I'll be sharing some of those through the week. This is coming in from Owen. This is Berry Ridge in the Neeland area. Look at that absolute, I mean, come on. Does it get more beautiful than that? Look at that. You got that nice red glow. Oh, man. Thank you, Owen, for sharing that photo. By the way, if you want to share your photos, it's very easy. All you got to do is, number one, you got to have the Weather NorCal app. And I don't know why you don't have it. I've talked to people where I've actually had them talk about how great their app is for weather, and then they download my app and they go, "Oh wow, this is pretty cool. I like this." So I'm just speaking for what other people are saying when I'm seeing that. Of course, some 4-5-star reviews. So check it out. Again, that's not what I'm here to. I want to. Of course, you need to download the app, but if you want to share your photos, you scroll to the very bottom of the app and it will walk you through it. And it's so easy. All you have to do is give it access to your photo library, and then you can share as many photos as you want. Of course, one at a time each time, but it's still fun. All right, let's take a look at Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals. I got to hang out with Sharon Clay, and we are going to take a look. You know, they have all those lorikeets in that big cage where you can feed them and the works, but sometimes it gets a little hectic in there. So we got a little one-on-one experience with just one of the birds. So this is Pez. We introduce you to Pez. Check it out. Forgive me, that's not what you were supposed to get. I don't know what happened there. That's crazy. I thought I put it in there. Did I? I guess not. Hold on. Give me a second here. That's not what I wanted to do either. I need to get that out of there. Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go. Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals. Hello everyone, Mike Krueger from Weather NorCal. This is Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals. I've got Sharon Clay from Turtle Bay with me as usual. Oh, you dropped it. You're done. No more. This is Pez, right?
It is Pez. Pez is a scaly-breasted lorikeet.
Okay. And so one of the things that I noticed is name is Pez, and I remember last time we talked about the lorikeets, you give them kind of candy names.
We did. You know, we had a lot of birds, and we were trying to think of like what could be a theme that there's a lot of and what's colorful. And so we thought, okay, candies are colorful.
Yes.
So we name all of the lorikeets that come in after different candies.
That is fun. So tell us about Pez. What do we got here?
So as I said, Pez is a scaly-breasted lorikeet. There's 53 species of lorikeets, and why I really wanted to bring Pez out is because when we do the lorikeets, it's always in the parrot playhouse, which is really loud and hard to hear and a little chaotic with all of those birds. But Pez actually has just had an injury. We don't know what happened, but she doesn't fly anymore, and so she can't be in the flock. So we turned her into an ambassador animal. She gets to come out, and so people get to see her in a more calm environment. And there's so many different species of lorikeets, and the scaly-breasted actually don't live in such big flocks as some of the other species. So she actually enjoys being just with like us.
That's fun.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why, and I'm going to guess, the reason why Pez just got a little bit more active with the squeaking, or squawking, or whatever you want to call it, because you can hear him over there. You can hear him at the...
Yes, she is responding to the flock. Yes.
That is pretty neat.
So she's like, hey, I'm over here. Where are you? They're getting louder, too, as we go.
She actually seems a little bit smaller than some of the others as well.
So lorikeets come in all sizes. There's some lorikeet species that are even smaller than her.
Oh, okay.
And then there's ones that are almost as big as an Amazon parrot that are like this big. So there's, like I said, 53 different species of lorikeets, and they come in all sizes, all different colors. And what's the coolest thing of all about a lorikeet is that they are nectar eaters. So they have a special bottle brush tongue that they stick inside flowers, and they're able to get out the pollen and the nectar out.
Sometimes I wish I had a tongue like that. You're very lucky.
Cool.
If I could have a bottle brush tongue, I don't know how that would work.
Okay, you want to know my favorite parrot word of all, though? Zygodactyl.
Oh yeah, I've heard that before. Zygodactyl.
It's the best. Zygodactyl. It's the type of foot that they have.
Right.
Birds all have different types of feet, and they have different names. Zygodactyl is 2 toes forward and 2 toes back, and it is for climbing.
Now there are other types too, right?
Yeah, who has
obviously?
them? Who climbs? Who do you find on the side of a tree?
Birds.
Oh my! They go.
Oh, woodpeckers.
There you go. They have a zygodactyl foot. So take a look next time and see 2 toes forward, 2 toes back.
I always feel so smart with Sharon. They do the parrots. I'm so smart. I can figure that out. Well, thank you, Pez. You have been an amazing. As an ambassador, I mean, what does she do as an ambassador?
So she's going to go out to programs. She'll do programs. She'll go do our school programs when people can come, and the schools can actually have private programs. So she'll be in those. She'll come out to things like this instead of being in the aviary the whole time. So she is just a little ambassador.
Well, that's fun. And, the thing is, it is fun being with all those birds in there. But now that you kind of pointed out, it is nice to kind of just have this one-on-one connection with the bird and not have all the chaos with all the other birds around. So thank you for spending time with me. There's more. I know. You're not really responding to me. You're responding to your friends over there. So thank you. Well, thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Pez.
Mike.
That was a piece of apple, not something else. Thank goodness. We will see you next week for another Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals. So much fun hanging out with Sharon and, of course, Pez, the lorikeet. And it really was neat to be able to just hang out with the one bird because, usually we've done it a few times in the main exhibit, and they're flying around everywhere. It's super loud because they're all just like super loud. And they're just everywhere. They're on your shoulders, they're on your head, they're everywhere. That's fun. But by getting more in that quiet environment with the one lorikeet, it kind of gives you an opportunity to really just focus on that and learn more about the lorikeet. So I want to thank Sharon for all the great education. And we have fun. We poke fun at each other, but we do like each other. It's fun. So check that out. Every Monday we got that Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals. Let's check in with everybody, see how you're doing out there this morning. We've got Lisa Stevens saying, good morning to everyone. We've got Ruth Sanchez. Good morning, everyone. Have a great day. We've got Curtis Brown saying good morning from 7 miles west of Red Bluff. Recorded 99 degrees yesterday. Whew. I tell you what, Curtis, this is just not. I don't want to hear about that. I know none of you want to hear about that this time of the year. It's yesterday was the first day of fall, and here we are talking about temperatures approaching or even over 100 degrees. That's kind of crazy. We've got Sandra saying good morning, happy Monday, windy and nice out. We've got Tracy Sackett saying good morning from MacArthur. We've got Kenny Elwood, said hi to you earlier this morning. Good morning to you, Kenny. So glad you could chime in this morning and watch this morning. We've also got Rowdy saying yes, good morning, super clear morning in Arcata with a visible Jupiter. We mentioned that a little bit earlier. And we got Chappie saying good morning to everyone as well. Well, today is September 23rd. And of course, we'd sometimes like to check out the national calendar. So what kind of day, what is National Day today? Well, National Family Day, I say every day is Family Day. If you can spend time with family members, cherish those moments. We were having these weird moments when we were realizing when we had family over yesterday, and we were talking about like when everybody met each other and what everyone's age was. And it came down to like Aiden being about 6 years old, and now he's 15. And so the grandkids, the youngest, actually the oldest, is 1 year older, actually 1 year younger than Aiden when he was introduced into the family. And we're all just kind of having this like mind-blowing moment where we're like, holy cow. Time goes by so fast. So, it's always just one of those things where when you can spend time with the family, cherish it. Cherish those times. National Teal Talk Day. Let's see what that's all about. National Teal Talk Day. Let's talk. September 23rd is Teal Talk Day and each other. Over 240,000 women are diagnosed with ovarian cancer worldwide. So gather your friends, wear teal for a day, out together and talk. Well, that's interesting. All right, let's take you back to the calendar here. And we got National Snack Stick Day. Okay, snack stick. I didn't even know that was a thing, but apparently that's a thing. And they've got a national calendar day for it. National Great American Pot Pie Day. Oh man, who does not love a good pot pie? I tell you what. National Checkers Day and Dogs in Politics Day. They combine the two. Okay, dogs in politics. So I would assume like, the president's dog and all that kind of stuff, right? Restless Legs Awareness Day. Apparently that, I've heard about that. And people can get that restless leg syndrome. So Restless Legs Awareness Day promotes education around a medical condition impacting adults and children alike. So interesting. Always interesting to see what the day is. Of course, tomorrow, a little sneak peek, National Cherries Jubilee Day and National Punctuation Day. Interesting. Punctuation. Who loves a good punctuation? Who doesn't love a good punctuation? Okay, let's check in. Some of you are just kind of chiming in here. It looks like she said we got, we've got good morning. How's the weather look for the Reading Roots Revival Festival? Well, when is the Roots Revival Festival? Can I find it in here? Roots Revival, what is it? Roots Revival Music Festival. Roots Revival Music Festival. What do we got here? Reading Roots Revival. It is the 27th. Oh, okay, so that would be what, Friday? September 27th and 28th, 2 days of music festival, downtown Reading. All right, that sounds, look at that. It says, here it is. You can buy tickets. Let's take you to it right here. So September 27th and September 28th. What days of the week are those? I always say, yes, put the dates in there, but also if you can and have room for it and can make it look nice in your little presentation, put the days in there too, because sometimes people get confused and they don't really, So the 27th is Friday, and the 27th is Friday, the 28th is Saturday. So you've got the 2-day music festival. So you're asking the question, what is the weather going to be like? Well, I can tell you right now, it's not going to be as hot as it is today. But yeah, it will definitely be on the warm side. So now that we're into that, there you go, Jackie, thank you. Starts Friday. I should have just looked in the comments because you always kind of come through here. So there you go. Yes, starts Friday and then Friday and Saturday. But if you, of course, like I say, probably somewhere, I'd say mid 90s, give or take. throughout the weekend. So we'll take a look at that here let's get that out of there, in our deep dive forecast. Now, of course, as you know, we've got sponsors here at Weather NorCal. Would not exist. Weather NorCal would not exist, number one, without you all, of course, right? But the sponsors are what make this possible. So want to thank Wind River for supporting Weather NorCal and, of course, being the primary sponsor of Coffee with Krueger. So at Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. Look at the hot temperatures we saw out there yesterday. 100 degrees in Redding yesterday, 100 for Ribluff, and for all intents and purposes, it was basically 100 in Corning too. But the southeast side of the valley, a bit of that south flow of winds, it kept those temperatures down in the low 90s yesterday, as well as Quincy, 86 for Susanville, 80 in Alturas. So it was pretty typical. You get those cooler temperatures in the higher elevations, and of course those cooler temperatures out along the coast as well. Right now we're sitting at 77 for Redding. Yeah, a bit of a breeze out there at the airport. That's keeping the temperatures up, but wind-sheltered areas in Redding, you're probably more like the mid to upper 60s. 64 in Red Bluff, 61 degrees for Willows. Look at Alturas. Oh man, it's getting cold in the mornings. So yes, despite the fact that we're talking about, a hot start to the week, at least starting out those cooler temperatures, especially in the mountains, 37 degrees for Alturas, upper 40s to low 50s along the coast. So your headlines, yes, the hot start to the week, triple digits for the north end of the valley here for today and possibly even tomorrow. But we do have a mini temperature roller coaster ride as we go through the rest of the week and even into the weekend. But no major heat waves, but still hot as we look at the long range. And speaking of the long range, I also don't see much in the way of rain. So this morning, yeah, a little gusty in some spots, especially as you can see some of the foothills here. But otherwise, it's fairly calm winds for most of us. Now, as we take you through the afternoon, not much going on with the winds. A little breezy at times, but 10 to 15 miles per hour, nothing unusual. Maybe just a tad stronger Tuesday. And then Wednesday, we've actually got a system riding to our north that may help elevate those winds. That's going to get those winds upwards of 20, 25 miles per hour in the eastern mountains, and maybe even a little gusty out for the valley as well. So we take a look at the humidity levels. That's the other aspect that we have to look at. It's very dry, it's very hot, but at least the winds are not a major factor. But it's still going to elevate that fire weather risk here for today and tomorrow. Now, even though the winds are picking up on Wednesday, humidity levels are going up just a tad. We still have elevated fire weather risk, but it won't be as bad because temperatures are dropping by Wednesday. So for today, hot and dry. That's the main reason why we do have the elevated risk, high to even very high for parts of the valley. As we go into Tuesday, still hot, still dry, elevated fire risk as a result. Now, even though the winds are picking up on Wednesday, especially off to the east, but even for the valley, temperatures are dropping. So the humidity levels will be a little bit higher. As a result, we're mainly in that moderate to high risk for the valley. So it's dropping a little bit here by the middle of the week. So you can see some of the clouds kind of coming in around that flow of this area of high pressure, kind of coming in from the south, from the northeast, moving down to the south and west. So you'll see some of those passing high cirrus clouds, but that's really going to be the extent of any of it today. The marine layer well off the coast here for today, and that'll be the case tomorrow as well. We take you into your Wednesday, things are changing a little bit here. Remember I was saying there's a storm riding to our north. That is going to, of course, give us the gusty winds I was talking about. Now, it does have very limited moisture to work with. So we may see a little bit of drizzle for the first half of the day in Del Norte and northern Humboldt County. Otherwise, I think to the south of that, Eureka southward, will most likely be dry. That disturbance will kind of push eastward. But you see how it's very light. As I mentioned, very limited moisture to work with. So most likely as it pushes eastward into the higher elevations, a lot of that will evaporate before reaching the ground. But if you live in Siskiyou County, even Modoc County, if through the afternoon into the evening you see a passing sprinkle, maybe a brief light shower, don't be surprised. But it's not enough to really cancel any of those outdoor plans. So really look at the longer range. We do have drier than normal conditions here. And this is the heat wave right here that we're seeing right now, this big ridge of high pressure. But you see how that's shifting eastward. And the reason being right here, this cooler air coming in from the Gulf of Alaska. Now, again, this is also the reason why we're seeing that slight chance for showers you saw there on Futurecast. That will then ride up to the north and east, temperatures increasing again as we start to go into Thursday and Friday. main ridge off to our east. We've also got some heat down to our south and west. Now, this particular forecast model wants to take some energy from this cooler air that's going to ride to our north over the weekend, dropping our temperatures down a bit, and some energy will break off, developing its own upper level low pressure system. Now, the European forecast model is not showing that. It's keeping all of that energy to the north. But bottom line, this does not have any moisture to work with. So it's not going to bring us any rainfall should it even materialize. But overall, we are going to be looking at, as we go into early next week, kind of more of a broad ridge of high pressure, with this area of low pressure just kind of undercutting it a bit here. And that will prevent it from getting quite as hot if that again should materialize. But bottom line, not even a very strong ridge of high pressure, even if this wasn't here. But this is that summer is still holding on, because we have these ridges that are trying to move in, but we do have storms to our north that are also trying to come on in as we are officially in fall and try to get into more of that cooler and wetter season. But we look at the temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, we are in that warmer than normal category and closer to the cooler up to our north. So we look at the trend. Yes, it's a hot start to the week, about a 10-degree drop going into Wednesday. So we don't see a very big variance in those temperatures once we do get to Wednesday through really even that next Wednesday. Again, because you kind of saw these systems are trying to move overhead. So we're kind of going up a little bit here, then back down. This is a mini roller coaster ride when we're talking about those temperatures. But in general, mid-90s, through low to mid-90s really, once we do get into Wednesday of this week, through this upcoming weekend, and even into that next week. And again, a quick reminder, it is not unusual. Well, let's just say it's happened before, that through mid-October we have, and not too long ago, 91 and 2022, were temperatures as late as October 14th. That's the latest we've hit 100 degrees or higher since 1893 in Reading. So we could see more triple-digit heat for the end of September. And it's not out of the question to see triple-digit heat even into October. So when you ask the question, are we done with triple digits? Well, a couple people were asking that a couple weeks ago. The answer to that is, and I was pretty much saying probably not. And lo and behold, look what happened yesterday. We saw a high of 100 in Reading, as well as Red Bluff, even Corning just shy of that. That'll be the case again here for today. So yes, it is officially fall, but Mother Nature has other plans, at least for now. There you can see those wave heights. They're fairly high, especially as they head out to sea, and then they will start to lower going into your Tuesday afternoon. But that being said, there actually is a small craft advisory through 9 o'clock this morning, but with those winds from the north at about 10 to 15 knots. So for today, I'm expecting those temperatures for Trinity County mainly in the mid-90s, give or take, especially along the Highway 299 corridor here. We're getting close to 100 degrees for Del Loma, but Coffee Creek, Trinity Center, you should be in the low 90s. Now we take you to the south, about 89 for Mad River, 94 for High and Palm, Hayfork 95. So again, looking at the temperature for the 7 days in Trinity County, pretty hot today and tomorrow. Nice dip in the temperatures Wednesday, Thursday. We see how they kind of go up and then start to go back down again. But again, it's not a very big temperature spread that we're looking at once we get past Wednesday. There you can see 92 degrees for a high today in Honeydew, 95 from Miranda, 96 out in Garberville. You take you out to Ferndale with 74, a little bit warmer as you start heading more and more inland, about 80 degrees for Hydesville, and Rio Dell about 79 degrees. 82 for Trinidad. And yes, some of those inland areas could be kind of flirting with or getting right around that 100 degree mark here for today. Eureka, 65 degrees. We take you up north with 90 in Gas Key, 90 for Smith River, Klamath about 81, and looks like Orick about 78 degrees. So what we're seeing here, and let me go back, because again, I was talking about that potential. I put the wording for drizzle in there for Wednesday. That's that weak system that'll be passing through, a little bit cooler, and then back in the mid-60s here by the time we get to the end of the week, this upcoming weekend. All right, now we take a look at Siskiyou County, and I've got the clouds in there for Wednesday, maybe a passing sprinkle, but nothing to really put any wording in there for. Temperatures today, though, yeah, warm. Mid to upper 90s for the Highway 96 corridor. We take you to I-5, upper 90s to the north, but you head to the south, and we're talking temperatures mainly in the mid to upper 80s, especially in Scott Valley with 88 for Greenview, 86 for Callahan, central, eastern Siskiyou County, mid to upper 80s, Dunsmuir about 88, McLeod 87, Mount Shasta City about 85, and barely getting into those low 80s, that is, up to the north and east. Temperatures going up again for Tuesday. That's kind of the peak, and then they go back down, then back up, then back down. That mini roller coaster ride. That's also the case for all of the mountain locations. 83 for Newell. There you can see out towards Fort Bidwell, 82. 83 for Likely, and Aden, a high of about 81 degrees. All right, let's take you into the Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, and there you can see Bernie. You're going to be around 90 today and tomorrow, down to the low 80s by Wednesday, Thursday, back up, then back down. Again, that's what I was talking about for all of the mountain locations, that mini roller coaster ride, especially as we get into Wednesday through the weekend. Taking a look at Lassen Park and Chester 7-day forecast, also that up and down mini roller coaster ride over the next 7 to 10 days. For Paradise, you're topping out at low 90s, back down to the low to mid 80s by Wednesday, Thursday, then back up to about 90 for Friday and Saturday. Let's take a look at your Valley neighborhood forecast to the south. 100 degrees for Red Bluff northward, otherwise mainly in the upper 90s elsewhere in the Valley. Chico, you will most likely just dodge that triple-digit mark, but mainly in the mid to upper 90s. 100 for the city of Shasta Lake, 101 for Redding, but temperatures in the mid to upper 90s for Lakehead and Whiskeytown. So we look at that 7-day outlook for Redding. Temperature is about 100 degrees for today and tomorrow, low 90s. There's that mini roller coaster ride going down, then back up, and then back down, then back up again. But again, just that little bit of that mini roller coaster ride. Here we got Chappie is saying, personally, I'm tired of this roller coaster ride. I can't wait for I know, I think some people are getting sick. They're maybe getting motion sickness from the roller coaster ride. But yeah, the heat. It just seems like we've been through it. It's been summer. And I think everyone is just, I think you're just ready. I think that's the sense that I'm getting. I'm getting on social media as I continue to post these, smaller heat waves kind of pushing through. You get all these people who are like, oh, enough already. And I think that's how most people feel. I know I feel that way. I'm ready. I'm ready for some cooler temperatures. It's always nice. It's so much better to kind of get out, go for a hike, and when it's more mild and more pleasant out. Don't forget, oh, yes. Man, there's so much stuff going. It's hard for me to keep up with. That's the one thing I miss about working with news is the news did all that. They had a staff for that. Like for me, it's harder to kind of keep up with all that stuff. So that's where you all come into play. You help me out. So yes, we have got the Honeybee Festival this Saturday and Sunday in Palisadro. Am I going to be in town this weekend? I think I am for the most part. That's always a fun one to go to. I always enjoy that one. They always got the bearded person. Not bearded, but the beard of honeybees, and that's always fun. But yeah, so just kind of, again, keep in mind, probably around the mid-90s, give or take, throughout the weekend. That'll also be the case in Palisadro. There you go. All right, folks. Well, that is going to do it for us today. We have got some cameras to kind of wind things up for you. It's going to be hot out there. So, we do think about the fact that, yes, we are officially in fall. But for those of you that work outdoors, I don't need to tell you this, but just a friendly reminder to remember to give yourself plenty of breaks, drink plenty of water, and you should be able to listen to your body. If you start feeling fatigued, give it a break. That's the bottom line. And a couple of weeks ago during that heat wave, I had to do a lot of, heavy work when I was trying to get the roots of the tree out and just pounding away. I listened to my body. As soon as I started feeling tired, I said, it's time to sit down, take a break, drink some water. And I tell you what, that made a big, big difference. All right, so there you go. Jackie saying thank you. We've also got Madeline saying good morning. Have a great day. Thanks for the forecast. You bet. You're so glad you could do it. We've also, Lisa Stevens saying awesome pancakes in the morning. So they have pancakes in the morning apparently at the bee festival, Honey Bee Festival as well. So fun. Check that out. So yeah, thanks for the fun information, and keep reminding me during the week, and we'll continue to kind of give people reminders for those who may not be tuning in this morning. Maybe they're going to be tuning in later this week. All right, let's take you to some of the cameras out there and get you ready for your day. Again, take care of yourselves, and we will see you tomorrow morning. Be sure to check in. Of course, if you missed this forecast, you can go to weathernorcal.com or from the app, click on Coffee with Krueger, and you can watch this recorded version that I just did here. I'll upload it here shortly after this. You can also watch my latest forecast at 6 a.m. I also update it at noon and 6 o'clock in the evening, and I'll be right back here tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. on Coffee with Krueger. Have yourselves a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.
Thank you.